I'm Mike Bradner, and this is Capital Views, and we have with us today Representative Steve Thompson, who is the House Majority Leader, but who also represents Fairbanks and one of our most important assets, the University of Alaska, and perhaps more importantly, its research institutes. So,
that's true. University, it's a driving engine for the state of Alaska. Without that university, we aren't going to be training our own people to take jobs here in the state. So, very important. And the research that's being done is some of the most important in the world.
And it was always the most important circumpolar.
Right.
I mean, going way back when I first came to Fairbanks in the late 50s, I mean,
yeah.
It was the Circumpolar Institute. But now, I mean, it's an important economic driver to Fairbanks, and in many respects supports itself.
Yes, it does a lot. There's a lot of money spent, but there's a lot of, probably $100 million in grants a year that come in from the federal and also from all over the world for the research that they do.
And of course, that was our original university. I graduated from the University of Alaska, not University of Fairbanks.
Right,
and
that's all there was.
Yes, this was. So how are things now, I mean, with the university? I mean, we face a challenge.
They're struggling, they definitely are. They've had a big reduction in their budget over the last 3 or 4 years, actually. But last year and the year before were pretty major reductions, and it's hurt. It's a lot less registration. The registration is way down because of programs being cut or reduced, and it's had a real tough effect on them.
So what else now? You have to chase all the stray cats in the house this year, and so what do you look for in the house? A more friendly arrangement? Or?
Thank goodness this year we're off to a earlier and better start than we did last year. We were February 13th is when the budget came out last year from the governor, which is way late, and so we didn't have anything until then to even work on. And we didn't organize until the 14th of February, so we had a real late start. This year we're hitting the ground running. I've got 2 finance subcommittee meetings tomorrow morning, one at 8 and one at 9. And another one then at 12:30. So we're starting to work on the budget, and we're trying to make it to where we can get out of here in a reasonable time this year. We didn't gavel out last year until July 27th, which is not good.
And of course, we have a situation with the recall, but the legislature will probably get out of town long before that ever reaches.
It looks like probably true, yes.
So there's good prospects our governor may be a little friendly,
It seems like it,
budgets.
Yes, very much so.
Anyway,
we're going to try for that 90-day time frame. I don't think we'll quite make that. We might make it by 105 or 110 days. And then everybody wants to go back home. During a legislative session, a person cannot campaign, or legislator can't campaign and cannot raise money. So there's a real motivation for everybody to compromise a little bit and try to get out of here in a timely manner.
And not step on the wrong toes in the process
yes,
and get in trouble. It's not a year that we're probably going to hear the T word, and that's probably going to come down.
Yeah, the big issues this year, one of the biggest ones still again this year is the permanent fund dividend, and that's going to be one of the big topics that is going to probably take some time. It's going to take a lot of negotiating and a lot of controversy, and we'll see where it heads. It's going to be interesting.
I was speaker when we did the permanent fund, and we never heard the word dividend. It all came later.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
But it's something that's on the table, and it's a difficult issue for.
Oh, it is. That's what kind of held us up the most last few years.
And so, what else are we likely to find on the table? I mean, how do we deal with a capital budget, which we don't have?
That's always been one of my priorities, has been the capital budget, but the last several years we haven't really had a capital budget. Because of that, deferred maintenance is, they're saying between $2 and $3 billion behind on deferred maintenance on buildings and bridges and roads and things that really need to be addressed. So that's a tough one to try to come up with, because you've got to have your operating budget, and the capital budget then adds to the total amount of money you're spending, and we haven't had the money.
And we haven't impressed the bond rating houses and so on because we haven't put a viable fiscal plan together.
Correct.
So we can't bond, and which
Yeah,
normally is,
Yeah, we could. We still could bond. That's been talked about the last couple days, and I think that'll probably be brought up, and we'll see what kind of, because we've got a lot of bonding capacity yet, but what's the cost per year going to be, and what would the result be, and would that hurt us in the long run instead of helping us? Because we do need to address that deferred maintenance. So many local contractors depend on deferred maintenance monies to fix buildings and things. A lot of them in the Fairbanks area have packed up their tools and moved south because there hasn't been any work.
see, we're out of time.
Pardon?
We're out of time. So it's good to talk to you, and good luck this session. And I'm Mike Bradner. This is Capital Views, and we've been talking to the Majority Leader of the House, Steve Thompson.